Coming in at number 5 we have the Island of the Dolls, which is a famous tourist spot in Mexico located in the canals of Xochimilco, south of Mexico City. Legend has it that a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera inhabited the island in the 1950s. He started collecting and hanging dolls around the island after finding the body of a drowned girl and a doll nearby. Some say he did it to honor the girl's spirit, while others believe he became obsessed with the dolls, claiming they were possessed. Today, the island is filled with hundreds of decaying dolls. Since opening to the public in 2001, there's been reports of the dolls moving their heads, arms, opening their eyes, and even hear them whisper to each other. This island appeared on several paranormal TV shows, including one of America's most famous paranormal reality TV show called Ghost Adventures. Coming in at number 4 we have the Chernobyl Disaster. In the early morning of April 26, 1986, technicians at the Chernobyl nuclear plant stationed at Reactor Unit 4 went ahead and came up with a poorly designed experiment that would ultimately be a devastating impact to not only the nuclear power plant but also surrounding area for short-term and long-term. The technicians shut down the reactor's power regulating system and its emergency safety systems, and they also removed control rods from its core while allowing the reactor to keep running at 7%. From this mistake, along with several other human errors, the heavy reactor lid, which was made up of steel and concrete, blew off approximately 1:23 a.m. on April 26 when the reactor went out of control. The nearby town of Pripyat, which housed about 50,000 people, had to evacuate the next day due to how bad the radiation spread. Within 30 kilometers around the plant, known as the exclusion zone, is deemed uninhabitable, while some wild animals who stayed in the zone developed mutations such as changed shape and others were born with physical deformities. Coming in at number 3 we have the Catacombs of Paris. Below the streets of Paris, France, are underground ossuaries to the remains of well over 6 million people. Originally built to consolidate Paris' ancient stone quarries, they were repurposed in the late 18th century to solve overcrowding in city cemeteries by storing the remains of millions of people. Bones are arranged in systematic patterns along the walls of the tunnels thanks to Héricard de Thury, who took it upon himself to organize the bones the way you see them today. Today, the catacombs are a popular tourist attraction, offering guided tours through a portion of the underground network. Access is restricted to ensure safety and preservation. Overall, the Catacombs of Paris provide a fascinating glimpse into the city's history and the darker aspects of its past. Although there have been no death reports in the catacombs recently, there is only one on record. Back in 1793, a man named Philibert Espert, a doorkeeper for the Val-de-Grâce Hospital, unfortunately lost his way in the catacombs. 11 years later, his body was found just a few feet from a staircase that would lead him to the exit. Having his body to decay for 11 years, he was identified just from his hospital key ring and the buttons on his jacket. It is rumored that the catacombs are haunted, with visitors reporting whispers echoing through the tunnels and weird apparitions vanishing into thin air. Coming in at number 2 we have the Gates of Hell. The Gates of Hell refers to the Darvaza gas crater, a natural gas field in Derwiz, Turkmenistan. Originating from a collapsed natural gas field that was set on fire in 1971. It was initially thought to be a solution to prevent the spread of methane gas and toxic fumes, but the fire has been burning continuously ever since. The crater is a large, fiery pit measuring about 226 feet in diameter and 98 feet deep. It emits a constant glow and releases flames and gas into the air. Despite being in the remote desert of Karakum, this is a popular tourist attraction that attracts many tourists from all around the world. Many debates have been made on to extinguish the flames, but is deemed to be too dangerous as the potential for a catastrophic release of gas. The Gates of Hell is a fascinating natural phenomenon that captivates visitors with its eerie beauty and scientific curiosity. Coming in at number 1 we have Aokigahara Forest. Aokigahara Forest, mainly referred as Suicide Forest, is located at the base of Mount Fuji, about less than 100 miles west of Tokyo, Japan. Gaining a dark, eerie reputation, Aokigahara Forest is known for the amount of suicides that occurred in this forest. The Japanese government stopped publishing the amount of suicides in this forest back in 2003, however the last chart in 2003 shows that there were 103 suicides in the forest. Due to the alarming suicides, conservation groups, mental health organizations, and local authorities have worked together to raise awareness by putting up signs in both Japanese and English. One of those signs are, "Your life is something precious that was given to you by your parents." It is reported that majority of the suicides in the forest comes from males between the ages of 40 to 50 years old. Each year there's an annual sweep of the forest to remove the dead bodies before the holiday season. Despite the eerie, dark, disturbing mystery behind the forest, many locals find this destination very popular due to the very few wildlife and quietness this forest has.